I love vigilantes. I love vigilantes. Shout out to all the vigilantes in the world. Worldwide. They're all over the world. They're in every city. See, they're the ones that are out doing the real work out on the streets. They're not up on the app. Oh, I'm a vigilante, but I mean, you can talk about being a vigilante, but that's about all it is talk. The real vigilantes are out on the street. They're the ones that are creating these news stories that y'all sit around and talk about. Those are the real heroes. The real heroes are the vigilantes. I don't even know if I spelled heroes right. Let me double check that. But I love vigilantes. I'm going to tell you about vigilantes. They do what stuff don't do. They're out there really doing it. They out on the streets doing it. Every city, every town, every state. They're everywhere. And they're born every day. Vigilantes. Let me see if I spell heroes right. There's supposed to be an E on there. There's supposed to be an E on there. Let me put it on there. But I love vigilantes. So I want to acknowledge the vigilantes in the world, the heroes. Oh no, it doesn't need an E. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's right. It doesn't need an E. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read to you what a hero is: a mythological or legendary figure, often of divine descent, endowed with great strength or ability, an illustrious warrior, a person admired for achievements and noble qualities. Now, I am acknowledging it today. One who shows great courage. Now, let's look at vigilante definition. Yeah, I have always loved the vigilante. You know, the ones that go out there and right the wrongs, and they do whatever they got to do to right it. And they've been doing just that. I mean, I could not be more happier with what the vigilantes of the world do. They create news stories for y'all. Weren't for them, you wouldn't have the news stories to talk about. Thank the vigilantes. I don't thank them for that. I'm not concerned about the story. I'm concerned about their deeds. They do really good deeds. They do. It's like taking a knife and cutting the rot out of that apple so you can eat the good parts of the apple. They get rid of the bad parts of the apple. Okay, a person who is not a member of law enforcement but who pursues and punishes persons suspected of law breaking, a member of a vigilante committee, a person who considers it their own responsibility. That's what I'm talking about. The ones that are out there doing the work. You know, you can talk about being a vigilante, But if you ain't doing nothing, that's all it is. It's just talk. A real vigilante is out there doing it. Were it not for vigilantes, y'all wouldn't have news stories to talk about. They're the ones creating them. They're creating these stories for you to talk about. Give them their props. Well, no, I want to benefit off of it, but how dare they do what they do? But I'm going to jump at every opportunity to benefit off of what they're doing. But I'm going to, get on these apps and talk, talk the talk. Well, last time I checked, talk is cheap. The vigilantes, the real vigilantes, are out there doing it. I imagine a lot of people are benefiting off of it. I mean, even me. I'm not going live every day. It's just the inner thing. I'm like, good. One less problem in the world to worry about. One less problem in the world to hear. One less problem in the world to look at. One less problem in the world to deal with. One less problem in the world to be around. One less problem taking up space. One less problem attracting other problems. They're underrated. They don't get the credit and the acknowledgement that they deserve for their works, for their deeds. Now, the outcome might not be looked at as a good deed, but I see it for what it is. It's a very good deed. Oh, you sit around and do this to people? You sit around and do this to people. Even though you aren't doing it to me, you would do it if you could. So you may as well be doing it to me. Let's just say you're sitting around doing all of this to Stuck. Why does this do this? Let's say you're sitting around doing it to Stuck. Well, eventually somebody gonna do something to you. That's how vigilantes work. So have your kiki, have your laugh, get off on what it is that you sit around and do. Um, a vigilante will eventually make that right. If they don't do it to you, they're going to do it to somebody who is just like you. Pretty soon they're going to be tired of anybody that's just like you. And I'm assuming they do whatever it is they do to people who are just like you. And I guarantee you, your kids are just like you. Your grandkids are just like you, aren't they? I would bet that they are. Like I say, I love vigilantes. I love them. I need to research more about vigilantes. To me, they are a blessing. They are a blessing to the universe. Where would this world be without them? They make the ultimate sacrifice. They make the ultimate sacrifice. Okay. What does this say? What is all these beeps I'm getting? Oh, these are text messages. I wonder if it's a vigilante. I wonder if it's a vigilante. I can't even read this. I wonder if it's a vigilante texting stuck. I wonder. Oh, I gotta go pick up this movie today. But I love vigilantes. They're heroes. They have their reasons for doing what they do, and I don't ever question it. But I know one thing, they do their jobs very well. Very, very well. In fact, I guess there's probably a network of them, if I had to guess. But I love them, all of them. And I love everything that they do. I love it. They make life for people like Stuck better. Because they mean that one less person like you out there, right? Doing what you sit around and do to folks. Who gonna do what to you? Hmm? Or who gonna do what to your sister or your mama or your daughter? Hmm? Who gonna do what to you? While you're sitting around putting in overtime to do something to Stuck, who gonna do something to you? That's why I love them. They defend you. See, I reap all kind of benefits off of what they do. Why would I ever stop it? And I ain't up on here trying to exploit it or capitalize off of it. There's no monetary gain. Life is just a better life as a result of what they do. They try to make life better for everybody else. And they're doing that. One by one by one by one. I imagine after a while those numbers start adding up into the millions, don't they? Let's see what this said.
Vigilante.
Y'all hear that?
Vigilante.
A person who tries in an unofficial way to prevent crime or to catch and punish someone who has committed a crime. I mean, to me, it's a crime to sit around stalking somebody for years with the intention of bringing harm to them and to out them and to violate their lives. To me, it's criminal. Thank God for vigilantes in the world. Thank God for them. Every day I benefit off of what they do, and I'm very grateful for them. I have much love for a vigilante. It don't matter what your race, creed, or color is. As long as you are a vigilante, I have much love for you because I know you got a cause. In fact, I guess there's a network of them. You know, while y'all are forming these online networks, right? Isn't that what y'all do on these apps? You want everybody to feel how you feel about, let's say, a down low person. I mean, I'm just going to put that out there. Well, I imagine vigilantes feel a certain way about whatever it is, too. Maybe they feel a certain way about your sister, you know. They may feel a certain way about a sister of a person that has such a problem with a down low person. That's what vigilantes do. I feel like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Except they ain't up on the app talking about it. They out on the street doing it, producing it. So some of y'all will have something to talk about. Oh, I'm gonna make fun of this down low person. Well, I don't know. You know, do all of that. I ain't never, because certain people, it needs to be seen what you sit around and do. People need to see it. They don't have to agree with it, but they, as long as they see it, they see what the motive is, the intention. Ain't no good up in none of it. No, I want you to feel this way too, the same way I feel. And every opportunity, I'm gonna get up on the app to try to brainwash all of you to feel how I feel. Well, still feel how the vigilantes feel. That's how Stuck feel. Stuck feel that what they do is acceptable. How they do it is none of my business. As long as they do it, whatever it is that they choose to do, to whoever it is they choose to do it to, I reap the benefits of it. I love a vigilante. They're heroes. They're all over the news every day, all over the world, doing what they do. So form your networks, form your communities, form your groups, form your this, form your that. Don't think you think vigilantes are stupid? You think they ain't networked together some kind of way? I'm sure of it. I'll bet money on it. I would bet money on it. Why do you think you have these copycat people? Oh, you did it? I want to do it better. I want to do it better than you. And some of them are doing just that. It's just what they do. I'm sure there are very complicated and complex things that they do. They have a way of getting in touch with each other. They have a way of communicating. They have a way of gathering. They have their way of getting together. Sometimes they communicate through the news stories. Okay, I did it over here. Now, what are you going to do? Well, guess what? I'm going to do it over there. That's how they communicate. And the news tells you why they did, if they even know. In some cases, they don't know. You know why? Because they don't know what y'all been out here doing. I mean, it's a lot of people don't know that, certain of y'all, right, feel like it's okay to get on here and stalk and harass and do all kind of criminal things, right, that is pertaining to stuff. Who watching you? Maybe I need to point to somebody so that they can look at you, take a look at you, what you do. But I won't. Eventually, they'll get around to doing whatever that they need to do to whoever that they need to do it to. It ain't for me to have any kind of problem with it. See, my life ain't a problem. I ain't trying to inherit nobody else's problems. And I damn sure ain't taking the burden of nobody else's problems. Because I don't care enough to. But I will celebrate people who solve problems. In a lot of cases, you all are problems. I see the beauty in that. Am I up on here trying to tell the world what a problem you are? No, people see it. I don't have to tell them. They see it themselves. You know why? Because it's somebody like you everywhere in the world. There might be less of them now. How do stuff feel about it? I don't feel any kind of way about it. But I feel like vigilantes are heroes. What they do, I respect it. I respect everything that they do, everything that they're about. So kudos to the vigilantes in the world and what all they do. They're heroes. I love vigilantes. Sometimes they look out for you and you don't even know that they're looking out for you. I see the beauty of that. That's a beautiful gesture. That's a beautiful deed. When somebody looks out for you and handles a problem for you because they know that, hold on, how I spell this? They know that you are being targeted. Wow, this was 4 days ago. Mm, wow, I didn't know about this. Let me bookmark this. Um, let me just put it like this. Stuck was right. Stuck was right. Y'all ain't the only people grouping up. Y'all ain't the only people, building up hate groups and hate communities. You ain't the only ones doing that. Some people fight back against people like y'all. I call them heroes. That's what I call them. They fight back. They solve problems. In some cases, they prevent problems from being born. But y'all aren't the only ones. You aren't the only ones that are grouping together, doing what it is y'all do. There's other people that are grouping together also. The fact gets to fight people like you. Wow. I'm really, and this was this year. Wow. This is very interesting. I'm not going to say what I typed in. Figure it out. Ooh, yes. Look at this. Wow. Mm. But I knew it. I knew things like that went on in the world. World is a better place in some cases because of what vigilantes do. Now, some people may disagree. I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on, right? If you're receiving the brunt of what they do, then it's a problem. But it's not a problem as you all collectively do what you do to people. That's not a problem. But when it's done to you, it's a problem at that point, right? That's why I love vigilantes. That's why I love them. They keep things in perspective. It's an even playing field. But that's wonderful. I'm going to have to research this more. This is a very interesting topic. But really, what I really want to know is this. Let me type this in. And I would not be saying what I'm typing in. Are they there? Wow. They're on Facebook and everything. That's good. That's good. They are connected. They are networked. There's a network of them. So what y'all sit around and do, they're doing it too. They're doing it too. And you don't know who they are, do you? They could be watching you. Or they could be watching yours. You just never know what they're up to, do you? Do what you do. Because believe me, they are. They're doing exactly what it is that they do. And I love it. I love vigilantes. World a better place because of them. World a better place because there are less of what certain people sit around and do. World a better place with, and then a lot, and in most cases, the world is a better place with vigilantes in them, and then the world is a better place because of certain things that go on. In some cases, the world is a better place without. And it is a better place. The world is a better place without. But I don't ever have a problem with what they do. But who they do it to. Do what you do. Now, I can honestly say I respect the work that they do. And they are very sophisticated. That's what I was looking for. There are very sophisticated networks of them. I'm sure that some make time for y'all. I'm sure some of them make time for you. Because I'm sure a lot of them are busy with other bigger causes. But others make time for y'all. I love them. I love vigilantes. They are heroes. And they're all over the world. Who's to say the universe ain't doing what it do? Oh, users doing this to start. Let me make sure a vigilante sees what you do. What you sit around and do. Still don't have to do nothing. Let's see what the vigilantes is going to do. I don't know. It's all over the news. I'm sure they done did something within the last 24 hours to some of y'all. or somebody like you, somebody would just like you. Either they look at you so long, you know what? They begin to look at everybody like y'all. But I love them. Always have. They protect. That's what they do. They protect what's worthy of protecting. What's not worthy of protecting, I don't know what they do with it. But that's why I love them. They do what it is that they do. And apparently they're doing it every day. It's what they do. I mean, some folks have a problem with what they do because they ain't benefiting off of it, right? They're probably trying to escape what they do. That's okay. You can run. You can hide. I guarantee you, everybody they see you in them. They see you in them. And that would explain why there is never a shortage of what they do. It's all over the news. They create news articles for y'all to talk about. They're the ones, and they don't get none of the credit. I'm going to give them all the credit. They deserve it too. They're the ones out here on the streets putting in the legwork, making things happen, creating these stories. So you'll have something to talk about. You may not like what you're talking about, but at least you got, I don't know, you got people watching and listening to you, right? So you're getting something out of it. Hmm. You're gaining something. I think they're gaining. I mean, if I had to guess, they gain. Um, they probably gain peace, internal peace. Yeah, I did the right thing. You know, I saved however many more people from being exposed to this cancer, this poison. It's probably like a dose of dopamine after they do what they do. It's probably like a high, a natural high. If I had to guess, it worked like drugs do. They want more and more and more. And I guess others see how they feel. They can probably feel the relief. They can probably feel and what word am I looking for on that? I don't know what kind of feeling they get. Maybe just the overwhelming joy. They feel the overwhelming joy and they want a taste of it too. That's how those groups grow. But I see them as heroes and I don't question anything they do. The universe puts them where they're needed. There's even such a thing as a Spanish hero. Because believe me, that Spanish man was a hero. in what he did. And every single thing he did was heroic. He's a hero. Thank God for vigilantes in the world. And there's more and more and more of them. I mean, there's just collateral damage. It's like a war. There's always collateral damage. But the mission statement is the same. Oh, you sitting around doing this to people? Isn't that interesting? This gets you off? Really? Isn't that interesting? You don't ever get enough for doing this? Isn't that something? Well, I'm tired of it. So I'm going to do something about it. And you're not going to like it. I don't like what you doing. I guarantee you, you ain't going to like what I'm going to do. In fact, I guess that's what it's based on. I can't help but love that. There's love all over that. All over it. Here we go. This is what I wanted to know. Right here. Yeah. The risk is worth the reward. And I reap the benefits of those rewards. I imagine some people suffer and agonize over what they do. Well, maybe they should have thought about it before they sit around and do what they do, to who they do it to, for whatever reason that may be. I don't care what reasons the vigilantes do what they do. I love what they do, and they're very good at it. They create news stories for y'all to sit around and talk about. Without them, you wouldn't have nothing to talk about. They make that sacrifice. It's risky. Some of them get caught. A lot of them never get caught. Those are the sophisticated ones. Sophisticated. But I love everything that they stand for, everything that they do. They're heroes in my book. Matter of fact, I'm going to be investigating it more. I won't be doing no story on it. I just want to know within myself, because I didn't realize how sophisticated it is. It's very sophisticated. There's nothing in the world that I love more than a vigilante. They are heroes. And there is collateral damage in any war.